First impressions. It's wet. And I feel like we're going to get pretty dirty. This is probably the most camping-esque. Like, I've had very luxury
This is the least glamping you've ever had.
Yes.
All right. Take one. This is video log, I don't know, video log 3 or 4. Video log 3, or it'll be video log 4. We don't know yet. We're gonna figure it out. Anyway, we did the Conondale Range Walk last weekend, and we wanted to have a chat about how it was, thoughts and feelings, run through some of the gear. We've got the gear next to us, and go through your first hike.
Yes. That was very good. Do you want my full opinion?
Yeah, go for it.
I would highly recommend it. I mean, if you've never hiked before, like myself, I've only ever done maybe
Amazing, eh?
like maximum 10 Ks, and usually it's quite flat. Or I've done like something closer to 6 Ks that's got a few more hills in it. So to have done the trek on the way there was more like 14 Ks. It was all uphill, and I had a pack on that was about 10 kilos.
Yeah, I'd say 10, 11 kilos.
It was probably a little bit much. I'm glad you put tape on my left one.
Is that helping a little bit?
I'm exhausted. But if you've done a few small hikes before that, or you're used to carrying a pack, it's like the perfect hike. Like, the campsite itself is stunning. The waterfalls, it's private. When we went, it wasn't very busy, but even then there was like heaps of room to camp. You had lots of space, like you wouldn't be crammed or anything.
Holy smokes. Look at that.
And the hike itself wasn't anything too technical. It was just that it was uphill.
No, it was very well marked.
Yeah.
It's part of a national park. So it had your trailhead starting from the day use area at Balumba Creek, which was closed. So we started at the camping area 3, which then led us onto the trail through like a water crossing.
Which I would recommend camping the night before like we did there,
Yeah.
because there's like a creek where you can like swim and like kind of take your time to get ready early that morning before you go. Like, I would definitely camp there. Or even if you didn't want to do the hike, just camping there is a great spot.
No, it's awesome. Fantastic little area. And yeah, the hike was good. It was quite challenging early on because it was all uphill for like 5Ks almost. There was very little. You'd get up to you'd just do a whole bunch of switchbacks, and then you'd kind of get to a bit of a flat bit, and then you'd carry on and doing a whole bunch of switchbacks all the way up to the fire lookout. Welcome to Mount Ellen Fire Tower. We've walked about 7 Ks to get in, and now I want to climb all the way to the top of there. And we've walked up the top of a mountain. I reckon Kaitlyn will have to do it. You gonna go up, babe?
What is up there?
That's the fire tower lookout. No. You have to go up there wearing your pack though.
No way. No way.
It says, it's the rules on the sign.
No. Oh, lucky I like breaking rules. No.
How did you find that?
Actually pretty hard. I'm kind of really surprised. Like, I'm not tired in the fact that I want to stop, but my joints are a bit sore.
Oh, yeah. Not used to carrying a bit of weight.
Bit of weight.
Bit different to the Brightwater 5K that's flat as a tack.
That's for sure.
It's locked. You can't go up apparently if you're unauthorised. Not much of a view up from the fire lookout. You can walk, but apparently you need to be trained for a fire lookout to get to the top. Fair enough, I take it back. Fire tower is closed due to structural instability, and there's a bit down the bottom that looks like it's been charred to pieces by termites. So, and that's like a main structural piece. So I'm quite happy we're not going up the top. There it is. I think you can just see it.
Yeah.
And then it was a lot of downhill back into like a gully after the fire trail, and then you're back over onto the next range down to the other side to get to the Falls campground.
Fire trail was like 5 k's in, do you reckon?
Yeah, I was about halfway through, probably just under halfway.
Yeah, it wasn't too far into the trek. But I remember looking at my watch at like just over 2k and thinking, this is tougher than I thought.
You were struggling a little bit then.
I was like, oh. I was a bit out of breath. It was quite warm, not too bad, like actually really good for summer here in Australia, but it was still a little bit warm.
And it had rained the night before too.
Oh.
And it was quite interesting because the mountain range towards where we started was very wet, very like sort of tropical jungle rainforest. And then when we got over the ridge to the other half of the track, it got very dry, and it was very classic Queensland gum tree sort of forests.
Yeah.
So it was quite interesting to see the change through the different sort of terrain, even though it was all within a pretty sort of close proximity of each other.
And there is one section of the hike where we both thought it was the best part, where you're at the top and you look out and you're just looking over the mountain ranges. Like you're at the top of the trees. It's so nice. It's for a good 100 meters. It's not that long, but it's really nice.
Yeah, you get to see a great view of the valley and sort of the mountain kind of around
quite high up.
The valley or the gorge. I don't know which one would be better to describe it as, but it's quite, the trail kind of comes off the edge of almost like a bit of a cliff, hey?
Yeah.
And then you're kind of walking along there. It's quite narrow. There's a couple of stairs. It's pretty cool. But you're in the tree line a lot. There's not massive views, and you're not very exposed to the sun either, which was quite nice. It did get quite humid and muggy.
Yes.
Like it was sweating a lot. So that's the only thing with being in the tree line, was that you'd get very hot and sweaty, but then you weren't exposed to the sun, so it's a bit of a compromise.
Yeah, I thought overall, like, I was really happy with it. I wasn't really sure what to expect in terms of what the track was going to be like. And like Gordon just said, it was so well maintained, well enough. Like it was a clear track. Because it had been raining, I was a bit nervous for leeches. But we didn't see any until we saw a couple at campsite, but that was near the long grass. So overall, it was really good. And snakes as well, being summer in Australia, like they were the two things, leeches and snakes. And I saw both, but
I didn't see the snakes.
He didn't see the snakes, so we were at the waterfalls, and stunning, like best place to swim. And just as we were climbing over some rocks, Gordon was ahead of me and I saw 2 brown snakes, but they slithered off real quick as soon as they heard us, so it didn't bother me. No. And I knew they would be sunbaking in the sun, so just...
No, it's not a heap of wildlife, a lot of birds, a lot of bugs, butterflies everywhere. Saw a few goannas, a lot of little lizards, like the little ones along the trail.
Yeah.
But nothing much else. Even at camp, sort of you read a couple of reviews on All Trails, which is the app we used to sort of assist with the navigation. And a lot of people said there was going to be sort of like bush or jungle mice, bush rats, whatever.
I didn't read this.
That have attacked their food bags, and there were some leeches. We did get a couple of leeches, like Kaitlyn said, at camp.
Gordon did.
Yeah, I did. While we were playing cards, one snuck onto my ankle just there, and then a couple more. They move quick, the little suckers, eh?
They do.
They move so fast. But I don't think we had any issue with rats or mice. We did hang our food up off a tree branch just in case, because the last thing you want all the way out there is to come and have something chew through your tent or chew through your pack. Like, you pay hundreds of dollars for these things. I'd rather them chew through a bag liner like a couple hundred meters away from the tent. So we're quite careful to not try and bring any food close to the tent, because imagine like paying almost like $800 to $1,000 for a tent and then having a little
That's a good tent. I love our tent.
Chew through it.
I really love our tent.
So that's pretty much it. So we took 2 days to hike this as our first crack at it. Kaitlyn's first overnight hike. So It was 12 Ks to Summer Falls camp, and there was 12 Ks back, a couple of extra K1/2 to and from the fire trail on the first day. And it was pretty much all, it was up and down. There was quite a lot of the elevation on this one. Not ridiculous elevation, but a bit more than I was expecting. And I think because it's part of the Conondale Range Great Walk, which is a big 50k loop, and we did the last leg in reverse. So if you did do it the traditional way, you would actually be coming down more, which we did on the last day.
Much nicer, except I had a sore knee.
Kaitlyn got a bit of a sore knee towards the latter half of the first day, which then affected her on the second day. We're still trying to figure out what it is. If it was maybe just carrying a pack. Like, you've never really done anything like that before. Hey, you've been kind of a short, sharp, explosive sports gal, not really a long, slow grind.
No.
So how are you feeling?
My knee's so sore.
Your knee sore? Can you hear that?
Water.
Getting water. We're very close. How are you? What happens if I told you that we're 150 meters from camp?
Oh, I'd be so happy.
Right, we're almost there. Knee's a bit sore, hey?
It's so sore.
She's got fat knee syndrome. Oh no, we got 14 Ks to walk tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Maybe the pack was a bit too heavy and maybe not fitted
like
correctly. The shoes were quite new too. They are new shoes. So
like, I've worn them a few times on smaller like day trip, which weren't very long, and they were fine. But maybe that with the pack, and I might have done something at some point, but I don't really recall at any time feeling anything different or hurting it. But yeah, it was quite painful on day 2, but we got there.
How do you feel? Feel good?
Very glad I made it.
Satisfied?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic.
So hopefully.
All right. Should we go through some of the gear and just talk through the gear that we used?
Mm-hmm.
Just 2 seconds. Let me get me coffee out of the way.
Do you want to grab any of the like sleeping stuff, or?
Just talk through it and we'll grab as we go along.
Okay. Kitchen setup. We have the Cedar Summit sporks spoon. I bought this the other day. This is mine. So Gordon had these. This is from Kathmandu, was it?
Yeah, but it's a Gerber.
But it's a Gerber
thingamabobby.
Yeah, so it's just like a pretty much your spork and spoon and little, what do you call this thing?
I don't know. It's like a 3-in-1 spatula.
Spatula. Oh my goodness. And they just come apart super easy, but it's great because they stay compacted together in your pack.
It's a little 3-in-1 thing that you can also twist the other way and it becomes tongs.
Yeah.
So how gimmicky that is, we'll find out.
And the back has a bottle opener, which is also super handy. We use the Cedar Summit reusable containers, so we can eat out of these, pack some food in it, but they also pop down, which is super handy.
So we've got 2 of those. So those will be our little food containers.
Yeah.
Essentially, the Conondale walk was a bit of a shakedown trip on our gear because we're loading up to do more exciting things.
Yeah, and like I haven't done a lot of this, so this is very new to me and was great for me to unpack a bag, pack a bag, the cooking setup. Because I've done camping before, but it was like glamping. Like it was luxury camping, do you reckon? Kind of. Okay, you're gonna have to help me out here. So we use...
So that's a Torpedo 7 gas cooker.
Yep. A little gas bottle, and then we've got, again, Cedar Summit, are they?
And then MacPack.
MacPack.
Pots.
MacPack
So we
pots.
took both of them this time around. Probably in the future we might just take the little one. We didn't need to take the big one.
Yeah, no, the little one
But again,
was
it
plenty.
depends on what we cook, essentially, because we took 2... For breakfast we had oats. So we took a bag of oats.
Yeah.
And then we had a backcountry freeze-dried meal.
For dinner with some 2-minute noodles, just as an extra, because we weren't sure how hungry we were going to be and if we were going to need lunch and things like that. And I also made us some delicious cookies for snacks on the trail. Honestly, the best cookies running around. Okay, I think oh no, she's good. So that was the food, like our kitchen. So, little hand torch, playing cards were essential. We have Bushman's insect repellent. This was amazing for me. I put this on and I was not touched. So that was great. Oh, we tried these, the Cedar Summit Wilderness Wipes. They were actually quite good. So there was a toilet at camp.
This is the nicest jungle long drop I think I've ever been to.
And they had it was a really nice toilet. It had soap, running water. You just had to bring your own toilet paper.
Well, there was a toilet paper canister outlet
empty.
thing, but it was empty. So
Yeah, so always a good idea to have backup. These were great because they're so little. You can just slide them in your bag, and then it's like multiple use. Like you can use it showering, you can use it. It's more for shower, I think, but you can also use it in the bathroom. They're really good. I would highly recommend. So we got the 12 pack, but there's also a bigger pack than that. Safety, the Garmin InReach Mini. So we just renewed our subscription on this. So what subscription did we go with?
the subscription is the basic plan. I think it's $25 or $20 a month. We just sign up to a yearly contract because we're going to use it.
Which we almost had to use because of my knee. Like Sunday morning, I was in so much pain. I thought, I don't actually know if I'm going to make like 10 to 12K back. So I did, but it was close. I'm almost going to message my family through this.
Yep. So that thing's going to be fantastic. We haven't used that really. This is the first time we've used it in a long time.
Yeah.
And we set it up just really as for emergency without no tracking and everything because we use our Garmin watches for navigation and tracking where we're going and stuff.
Best thing.
So the InReach Mini only used 7% battery and we had it on for 2 days straight, which I thought was great.
Awesome. This is the only repellent we brought. I think.
Do you like the cream or do you reckon a spray would be better next time?
A spray, because when you've got clothes on, I still have mozzies come to me on my tights. Like mozzies love me. So the problem was if I had clothes on, I couldn't put this on my clothes, and so they were still getting me. So I actually changed into shorts and put this on my legs, and it worked amazing. So if I could choose, I'd go spray, because then it's best of both worlds. But still really good. But we had sunscreen. What else do we have?
We coat tape and up.
Oh, tape, which was really great for blisters. I got a couple. Unfortunately, Gordon didn't get any. So this was really good. Gordon had a little multi-tool knife, scissors thing, which came really in handy as well. We also bring a
So
highlighter.
we coat tape came in handy for the blisters, as Kaitlyn was saying. So these are our...
and we also bring...
We're just like talking over the top of each other.
I know. I was like, wait, I'm not finished.
Not finished.
The other thing I was going to say was we also bring a little lighter. Not that we'll probably ever use it, but it's a great backup.
Well, we probably will, because our little cooktop stove is, you've got to light it. It's not a self-igniter. So it matches all these. It's got little matches in there. So this will be used to light our stove, and we'll probably put some tape and stuff around it, because we don't want to be lugging a full roll of this every time. We just thought this time around we're not going too far. That was fine to just throw in as part of our first aid kit. We're also going to get a trowel from Cedar Summit. A lot of our gear is Cedar Summit, because I just think they're awesome Australian made quality kit, which this will probably be able to go and fit in the trowel, their little foldable trowel thing. We'll get that and show that later.
Yeah.
So,
shoes?
talk to us about shoes. So we've got differing styles of shoes here. We've both bought these pretty much at the same time a couple of months ago. So I've converted from Salomon to the Vivo Barefoots. I'll get my old Salomons quickly.
While Gordon's doing that, I'll run through mine. So my shoes, super comfortable. Like, I've used them a couple of times before we went to try and wear them in a bit. They felt like, I kept saying to Gordon, they felt like clouds. I couldn't feel them rubbing anywhere. But unfortunately on the trail, I did get a blister on the back of my right foot and my pinky toe. So I don't know, I probably need to look at getting some new socks and also just wearing them in a bit more. But overall, I felt that they were really comfortable. It just happened to be that I got blisters. Yeah, mine are more your traditional hiking shoe. It's not the full one, it's like a midsole. Midsole, yeah.
So mid-ankle, mid-cut.
Mid-ankle, yeah. Laces, that's the bottom of them, like quite a thick tread. Ugh, see? Oh my God!
We need to clean them. So Kaitlyn's gone the Salomon route, and these are my old Salomons. They are extremely dirty because I took them on a 4x4 trip and it was uber muddy. So these are now my sort of just disaster shoe for wearing into like the garden or just anywhere ridiculous. I have had these since 2018, I think, and they were awesome. Love them. Very similar style to what Kaitlyn's got. They had a quick lace system though, which I was hesitant with at the beginning, but I love now. So I'm sad I've got rid of those, but I've decided to change tack a little bit, and I've gone with these Vivo Barefoot Trail Magnas, I think. I can't remember the name. It's quite a mouthful. I'll put it up on the screen, and I love them. I love them a lot. I wear them a lot because going from, I think these are an 8mm drop or a 6mm drop to 0 drop, and then also there is no padding in these. They are like flexible as flexible can be. It's pretty much like you're wearing a sock, a protective sock on your foot, and that's it. So I've been wearing these a lot over the last 3 or 4 months. We've had them.
At least. To
try and get my feet used to it. Like, I'm barefoot most of the time. I hardly ever wear shoes. It's pretty much barefoot, Birks, or these 99.9% of the time. So I was quite comfortable changing to these shoes. And I love them. Didn't get a blister, no hot spot. I did double sock just because these are a bit looser than what these were, and they're the same size, both 43s. So I did double sock to try and prevent blisters and maybe make my foot a bit thicker inside. Beautiful, loved it. My calves though did
mine too though.
kill me at like 2 days after the hike, not during it, afterwards. My calves are quite sore, but again, I think that's just lack of practice. So
I think so, yeah.
Highly recommend these. So far, so good. Yeah, they are expensive. I'll probably go into more detail and then maybe in another video at some point in time, but this was pretty much our footwear. All right, Kaitlyn, your pack.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm trying to clean up the mess that we've made here. I don't want it going into the carpet. Yeah. Okay. Oh. I'm very happy with her.
All right, your first great walk, eh?
Yeah.
We've just kicked off on the Conondale Range Walk, but we're only doing a night as a shakedown trip. But Kaitlyn's first time on any type of great walk.
Carrying a pack.
Carrying a pack. What pack you got?
Osprey. 50 litre Aura.
And I'm carrying the Mountain Zerk 40. So far so good. How does your pack feel?
Feels good. I'm just not hiking fit.
We have to warm into it.
I found, so like we've said, I've never really hiked with a pack before.
This is your first ever hiking backpack.
Yeah. So I went with the Osprey Aura AG 50 litre. I hummed and hawed for a long time over which pack to get. In the end, I went with this one because I really couldn't put past I don't know if you can see the back. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying not to yeah, can you see that?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like a mesh backing, but it's like away from the back of the pack, so it gets all that air in there. I found it so comfortable. So I like that it had space for a water bladder. I really like the design of the bag, and we both agreed that we both wanted about 50 litres, 40 to 50 litres.
So the plan for bag splitting will be that I'll carry pretty much the sleep system and clothes.
Yes.
With my water, and then Kaitlyn will carry the rest of the miscellaneous bits and shits, food, her water, all the other random stuff, which takes up a bit more space.
Yeah, like the cooking stuff.
Yeah.
And that actually worked really well with us first trial, so I think we'll do that again. And I still had plenty of room as well, so that was really good. What should I go? Okay, so down the bottom, I put our sleeping mats, which I will run through. I've got two in there, just pull one out. So we ended up going with the Nemo. Is there a size? This is the...
That's a Nemo Tensor regular wide, I think.
Yeah, it was the irregular, wasn't the big one.
No.
Super comfy, really, really like those. We also have our pillows. I don't think my pillows are in here.
No, they're over there. That's right, we'll grab them in a sec. Is that everything you want to say about your bag? You don't want to talk through any bits and pieces? What was your favourite? What did you like about the pack? And then what didn't you like about the pack? Is there anything you might want to change next time?
I was going to do maybe a bigger review on it after using it a few more times, but from the
initial thoughts then.
Initial thoughts is super comfy. I'm still trying to find how I like the feel of it on me, like adjusting the bag. So I had to go playing around with that on the hike, and it's great because you do have the hip belt, so if you want, you can put a bit more weight on your hips, and then sometimes if you want to take more weight on your shoulders, you can do that, which I really liked. But then also the other downfall, which I found with the hip belt, was that I have quite small hips and it does rub a little bit. Maybe that's something where I need to go and get fitted properly, do a few more hikes, test it out. So in a way that was a little bit annoying, but it also was also good at times. I loved that we could put stuff in this pocket here. Mm-hmm. So this one. Yeah, so we actually had our tarp where we put under our tent. That fit really well in here. And I like that I could put a few things in the top brain and just access that really quickly, like snacks, and same with the side pockets. The belt has, I don't know if you can see, but it has two big, large pockets at the front. So overall, they were like really good things.
How'd you find the straps?
Straps, yeah. So good point. I did mention this on the hike. I would love to have straps that come across my chest more, like almost like a running bag, or those ultra lightweight bags. I find that they have really good thick straps, especially the men's. For some reason they come across the chest, but these packs, for some reason, they like to come down here, like in your armpits. And it's, yes, you have a chest belt that you can clip and pull, but it's still quite, because they're quite skinny. I could feel it on my collarbone a bit, and it just, if you do have a bit of weight, you can feel it a bit more. So as a bit of feedback, I would love to see thicker, like arm straps that came across the chest a bit more, because I find that so much more comfortable. And unfortunately, a lot of the female packs, when I was looking around, didn't have that. And the only other thing which I had to learn was, if I wanted anything easy, I had to pack it in the brain or on the top of the pack. A couple of things I put a bit lower, like the first aid kit when I wanted this for my blisters. I had it at the bottom of the pack, and that was sort of annoying going through the bag.
That's just pack practice though.
But that was me, yeah, learning. But yeah, I think the biggest thing would probably be the straps and the belts. Just, yeah, getting used to it and finding what feels comfortable for me. But the back of the bag itself was really comfy, and I think it would be a really good pack.
Okay, so Kaitlyn's just gone through her pack, and this is my pack that I'm using. I've just bought that, and we've put up another review about the reasons why I bought this. So this isn't really going to go into the details of that. I'll probably talk to this more after a few more trips in it, but initial thoughts, love it, super comfortable, very glad I bought it. It's a frameless pack. It is quite a bit lighter than Kaitlyn's pack. So it's 40 litres with the roll top up to the top, and then the roll top down, it's about 32 litres. That excludes pockets though. So there's a heap of room in these pockets on the sides. There's double pockets on the sides here. So I think all up, it's probably around total literage. It's around maybe 45, including pockets and things.
Oh yeah, including pockets, I'd say 45.
It's a bit tough comparing like for like litres with backpacks, because I think Kaitlyn's pack is 50 litres. But her main compartment is this almost smaller than this, but then she's got more pockets and stuff. So it's a bit hard. So we're pretty much carrying a very similar capacity. I think Kaitlyn's is slightly bigger, but that's because hers is, she's going to carry a lot of the random stuff that doesn't compact down as nicely. So we talked before, the aim of the game is for me to carry our tent and sleeping systems, to pack them down nice and firmly into here, and then she's going to carry all the miscellaneous stuff. So I know Kaitlyn's already talked about the Nemo tensors. I just want to have a quick chat about it. Like, first time we've used them, fantastic. So I've come from Sea to Summit sleeping mats. I can't remember exactly, I'll put them up on the screen, but I've had two. I popped one, the big red one, I popped while out on an overnight hike in South Africa, dropped a rock on it, long story, and I wasn't able to fix it. So someone came and picked it up, wanted to have a go at fixing it. Hopefully it's worked for them. I then got another one, a light green color one. Put the name up again, I can't remember. And that was fine. That was a bit smaller, that was more lightweight. It was actually probably very similar to this size, maybe a little bit bigger. I had no issues with it. I only used it a couple of times, but it was very noisy. It was uber noisy to use. And these we went camping in the coldest of temperatures, so I can't really talk to the warmth rating, but these have a massive 4.2 R-value rating for how small they are. Like, it's nuts, and they were quiet. They were very quiet. It's the regular wide, so I'm 6 foot, and my toes stick out the end, like half my foot probably sticks out the end a little bit, which might be a bit annoying in cold climates because my feet will get cold. So maybe I should have gotten the long, but anyway, I like the size, I like the weight. The other thing we took as well we've bought some Sea to Summit thermoreactor sleeping bag liners. The reason for this is because we have already 2 sleeping bags, one Sea to Summit and one Kathmandu sleeping bag, which are at around the 4 degree to 0 degree sort of comfort to transition sort of range. And we decided that it'd be better to spend $60 on getting some 10 degree plus 10 degree sleeping liners than going and buying 1 or 2 more sleeping bags at about $800 each to get us to that 0 and under. So we're wanting to camp in temperatures at around freezing, not too much more than freezing, depending on the time of the year. So I'm hoping that these will work. We have 1 of these each, and we've got another cotton liner, a thin one, for probably more hotter temperatures. So hopefully these will do the job over buying another sleeping bag. The other thing is we carried and put our clothes and sleeping systems into 2 Cedar Summit compression sacks. So I'm still testing out what is better for us in terms of the way we pack our bags. Do we put them in stuff sacks and keep them in their own bags and then put them in, or do we just kind of stuff everything into one big bag? There's 2 schools of thoughts there. We're going to try and figure that out. I don't know which one's best for us yet, but these are great because they're waterproof, they're compressed down, things really small, and they're just one grab and you've got everything. So clothes and sleeping bag and liners went into those. This is the sleeping bag that I used. It's the Kathmandu one, compresses down super nicely. It is the Pathfinder. I've had it for quite a while. Probably need to give it a wash. And this is awesome summer bag. Summer to sort of spring, autumn. It is rated down to about 4 degrees and 0 as a transition. So this is why we bought the sleeping bag liners to go inside this one, because Kaitlyn's one is slightly warmer than this one. So it may be time to upgrade this one in the near future, but we're trying to stick with what we have at the minute. We did also take a Lucy lantern for our tent light. I love these things. They're so light, they're compact. Throw them on the top of the pack. Solar charge is awesome. And it's such a nice light too when you're inside the tent. What else do we have? This is our tent that we used. It is the Mont Moondance X. It's a 3-person tent. The reason we got a 3-person tent is that we find that 2-person tents are quite squishy. So we were quite happy with carrying the extra weight of a 3-person for our room. So essentially it tents our house while we're on hikes, and we're going to do longer hikes in the future. And we wanted just the comfort of being inside if the weather was a bit average. So this is it. And this is a great tent so far. I've come from a Nemo tent to this tent at the recommendation of a couple of outdoor shops, people in the shops, Australian tents. I think it's Australian made. And it's a 3-season tent. It's fully waterproof, self-supporting with the frame, easy to put up, easy to pack down, and it's compacts quite nicely. This is the tent itself and what's the cover thing called again?
Rain cover?
Rain cover, Rainfly.
Rainfly, I think.
So it's pretty good. It's about 2 kilos, I think.
It's light.
So it's not the lightest tent on the market by any means, but
For three
we'll be able to go and camp in this thing in about 90% of weather situations, and we'll be comfortable and fine in this. So do thoroughly enjoy that. The other thing was we had 2 Eros down pillows, regular pillows. Camping pillows are a bit funny. They're not the most comfortable. These ones I think are pretty comfortable considering how small they are. They are tiny. Kaitlyn wasn't the most massive of fans, but you know what, we're just gonna have to deal. So
Hey!
and that's pretty much it. So right, my water carrying. We've gone and recently purchased 3 of these water cells from Cedar Summit. We've got 2 20 litres, which we're going to use in the FJ when we're overlanding / touring. And we got a 4-litre one for bigger water carries on our trip. So I've come from an Osprey pack with a water bladder, 2.5 litre water bladder, and I like that. It's convenient, it's easy to use. on the go. The issue is with me that I found is that the bladder always sat inside the pack. If you ever need to refill it, you have to pull it out. Everything gets messed around. You got to try and put it back into the pack. Got to shove everything out or unpack and repack it. So it is a bit of a mission. It's not end of the world, but I just wanted to try something a bit different this time round. Took a couple of water bottles and then use this as the refilling option. This sat on top. It fits actually so conveniently, fits in the top here of this pack nicely on top of everything else. And you know what, I actually really liked it. The water bottle to get to the back of the pack, that was a bit annoying at times to try and get it in and get it out. These extra mesh pockets made it quite easier than some other packs I've seen and tried. And what I really liked about this though is that you could easily calculate how much water you had consumed. The issue with water bladders is you don't know how much you've drunk unless you go and pull it out or until you hit the end. Where with this, I could go, okay, well, I've drunk 3 710ml bottles worth. And then there you go, had 2 and a bit liters worth of water. Okay, we're about halfway through the hike. I need to conserve a bit of water or I need to drink more, and then you can just pretty much go from there. So I like it. I'm going to test it a bit more and see. Also, we're going to do the Larapinta Trail later in the year, and they say you need to take at least 6 liters of water. And so 4 liters in here and then have 2 700 to 800ml water bottles should be plenty for that. So, and this thing's durable. It's got heaps of options with holding it, compressing it down. You can even turn it into a little shower. It's got a little shower piece there. So again, Sea to Summit just come up with the goods. What else did I have in here? I had some things in my pockets here, like the knife and where'd it go? Oh, there it is. My Black Diamond head torch. Love this thing. Lasted me a while. It has got a couple of cracks there from use and just general wear and tear. I hope this thing lasts a while. The only frustrating thing with this really is that it's a USB-B, micro USB charger. I just wish everything was USB-C. So that's pretty much it for me. I've thrown it. Other things we took were little seat pads. These are Nemo Chipper seat pads. First time I've ever had them, first time I've used them, we were kind of 50-50 on buying them.
Yeah.
But they're so light and they're quite small, so they fit on top of our packs quite easily on the bottom of Kaitlyn's pack, so they just get thrown on top like that. You'll see how durable they are. They don't even look like they've been used. We use them as like a mat to get into our tent once we took our shoes off so your feet didn't get dirty. We sat on them when we were hiking and drinking and having some snacks.
When I had to do my
or
blisters.
when we were at dinner, having blisters.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was nice to sit on something a bit softer and a bit more comfortable. You didn't get any grass or sticks or mud or dirt on your ass. So, so far positives. We'll keep using them and see how we go. Oh, okay, well, so I lied. There's a bit of a chunk taken out of that one. So
That's so yours.
Durability will remain to be seen, but
For now.
so far they're okay. Hopefully they last because they're not cheap, but they're not expensive. So they're recyclable at least. I don't know how this will go in the environment if it does break down. Martin Designs hiking poles.
This is cool. You do rock crossing.
You do. This is sick. All right, you first. Lucky you got poles that can help steady you.
Yeah, okay.
Whoa! Was our next item, and this is also the first time we've used hiking poles, or I've ever used hiking poles besides a stick I found out in the bush. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Going uphill, coming downhill, just generally walking. I was a bit sort of nonchalant about getting hiking poles because I've never had them. I've done heaps of hiking in the past. And I've been like, didn't really need to use them, but I'm glad we got them. They helped, I think, definitely did help. We'll be using them a fair bit going forward. These aren't anything special. They're just mountain designs that we found in a local BCF, Anaconda.
We got these from Anaconda.
So these were Anaconda. They had a deal on, I think it was $140 or $120 for two.
120 for two, yeah.
For two, so $60 each. They're aluminium. They've just got the clip, pull out, in, which was nice and quick and easy to get your adjustments going, and then you just clip it back in. They're not the lightest, they're not the most compact, but as first time hiking poles, they'll do the job, I think. We also went with the foam handle this time round, so we'll see how that goes. I know there's a big foam versus cork handle debate out there. We felt the cork versions of these and they just didn't feel as comfortable as these. So we'll see how we go. So far, the goods. Is that everything?
I think that's everything.
Yeah, one thing we forgot to add about our water system was that we use the Grail geopresses as our water filtration. They were great. There's a couple of things with them. This is the first time we've used them. Reason why we went with these is because they do not just, they do viruses and they also do bacteria, and they're pretty much, I think most water they're able to filter through. So that's why we've gone with these over like a Katadyn B3 or one of the other types. They are quite heavy, they are quite wide, so putting them into backpack pockets can be a bit tricky. They've also got like a bit of a sort of rubber thing down the bottom there, which is nice when you put it on like a surface that doesn't move, but it does make it very grippy when trying to put it into backpack sleeve pockets. They're also quite hard to press down with water, and you need to put them quite firmly on the ground and push down on like a pretty even surface, otherwise they could squirt out the side or even tip over. So far they did great, nothing really to complain about. Another reason why we bought them was because they double up as a water bottle as well, so they're about 710 mils or thereabouts. So essentially I carried the Cedar Summit water cell, the Grail, and another 800 ml water bottle, and that was my sort of water system. That was pretty much everything. So pretty much except for the clothes that we take, which we'll go through maybe on another trip. But as a first time round overnight hike, it was really fun. I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it.
We got a whole bunch of new kit. Unfortunately, we're trying to use what we had, but in the floods last year, a heap of our equipment got super moldy and damaged. Unfortunately, we had to throw them away. So sadly, we had to buy new things, but excitingly, we get to test new things too. So anyway, this was just a bit of a quick summary of our trip and what we liked and didn't like. We want to use it as a bit of a reference point for other trips too, to see what our thoughts were and how we packed things and how we didn't pack them, and to come back and see how it's changed or what's changed or what's not changed. So anyway, anything else from you?
I think we covered everything.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. GoPro, stop recording. Day one, dusted. We have walked 14 kilometers. Was it 14 kilometers?
Yeah,
14.
To
Summer Falls on the Conondale Great Walk. And we have found our little slice of paradise. Like, this place is epic.
It's so beautiful and like quiet. There's like no one here.
Well, there's two other people camping here. They're just that way. And they're reading their books on the rock.
It's quite adorable.
Wish I brought my book.
We like our little. This means we're like hiking and camping. It
Our
means
little
we're proper,
Bangos.
legitimate hiking and campers with a bandana. No, not. How do you find? Whoa! There's a bird. He didn't go. Little bird dancers. These black birds. They've got triangular tails, and they're black all over. They're like swallow-esque triangle tails. I wonder what they are.
They're putting on a show for us.
Yeah, there's like 4 of them, and they singing and dancing, and one almost like went for a swim in front of us. Best bit about today. What was it?
Swimming in the waterfall.
Swimming in the waterfall?
Yeah.
Okay. Worst part about today?
My knee.
Your knee? What's up with your knee?
I have a very sore knee. I can't walk downhill. It was just actually even uphill sore, but downhill's worse. It's really sore to bend. Like any soon as I bend it, it's just so sore.
So we're hoping some food, a good night's sleep will fix it. Otherwise, we're gonna have to make a plan tomorrow. Somehow get Kaitlyn out of here with the bungy.
Yeah.
I did bring the wood saw. Worst
You
case.
did not. No, I think I'll get to a main road. You can walk back and come pick me up.
Yeah, that's literally plan A. Get to Sunday Creek Road. I hoof back to the car another, what would it have been, 8k, 7ks?
Yeah.
7ks, grab the car, drive back to Charlie Moreland, and then fetch Kaitlyn, who's sitting on Sunday Creek Road.
Chilling like a villain.
Anyway, I think that's a wrap. Enjoy the waterfall sounds and the rest of the evening. It's so nice. This place is awesome.
I would highly recommend coming here.
And I don't think many people know about this place. Like, I've never heard of it before.
I've
coming
never
here.
heard anyone talk about it.
I've heard of Balumba Creek, but nobody talks about Summer Falls. Like, this is well worth it. Oh, it feels so good.